Blade Runner. Take 49.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been thinking.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah, I think it's a masterpiece.
Mm.
Mm. Very, very different from what I expected, which is good. Very different from the first Blade Runner,
Yes. Which is good.
which is good too.
I was kind of dreading a little bit that they would milk it a bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think they did that at all.
No.
Very strong, many layered, intense film.
A dystopian masterpiece, I will say.
Definitely dystopian.
Whoa. And slow.
Yes.
Very slow. You really have to concentrate.
Yes.
You cannot just let you be rolled away like in like 99% of Hollywood productions.
Mm.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed was that it's so laden, like pregnant with symbols
Yeah.
everywhere. And I mean, I could get some of them,
Mm-hmm.
yet it felt like this has been worked with so thoroughly that I am not able to grasp even half of them.
No, you have to elaborate a little bit more.
You say that to me now.
Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
like the cinematography obviously is amazing,
Mm.
beautiful, and then when it's so clean as it is, so to speak, like very strong images, what is on the images is very symbolic.
Right, they have
So-
a meaning.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I found myself getting some of it, and and then a lot of it just, okay, I can see there's something there, but I don't understand the connection. I mean, it feels like a piece of work that has been worked on many times over,
Right.
so many layers, so you have to work.
Mm.
You can't just get out of the movies and dissect it
No,
like
true.
that afterwards, which is a good sign, and it's rare these days to see something
I
like
think-
that out of our choices.
Yeah.
Generally.
I think we have to say here and mention that we have to make a spoiler alert
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just. This is.
because we just want to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, then maybe stop now and see it, and then watch the rest of the video later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but because you inspired me in that sense that when they come to the radiated city,
Yes.
where we don't know
Yeah.
how it became radiated,
Yes.
but it's unlivable basically,
Yeah.
or had been.
Mhm.
And there are all those immense, fantastic sculptures
Mhm.
of people
Mhm.
in the middle of the city,
Yes.
like they, in some way they totally belong, and in another way they are very, very alien in this, in itself, kind of very futuristic, straight line city, and there's this huge statues, and my thought is that they are built by the replicants.
Oh, the statues.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay.
As some kind of manifestation of themselves.
Yeah, that could be, because those two big women were very porn-like. They had this kind of blowjob mouth and lifted tits and everything, and yeah, it could be. I mean, it's not
Anyway, it's
definitely
just-
a
no.
celebration of womankind at her height.
No, it's just some of the
And there were two Egyptian statues there, and a pyramid also. I
Yeah.
mean, it was very dense
Yeah.
with symbols.
true. No, anyway, but that is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, most spoiling you.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Yeah.
spoil away.
I mean, it is a difficult movie in many ways. It's kind of, it is Ridley Scott who kind of have produced it also. So there is kind of continuity. And there's a very strong continuity from the first Blade Runner.
Yes.
Right. And the interpretation of that continuity is, it's very, very scary in some ways.
What do you mean?
Because like the people you actually interact with and like in many ways, they are in some way also exponents of one of the most frightening futuristic scenarios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mean like replicants, yeah?
Like replicants who kind of take over and I mean they are leading a revolution,
Yeah.
and in some way Joe, okay, and Beckett is unaware, is kind of unaware supporting this revolution, which yeah. And in itself also, the way humans have kind of survived and lived is really dystopian. It is kind of it's kind of nightmarish with these kind of strange cold cities with rain and people are angry and crammed together and always finding somebody to blame. And yeah, like crazy. There was some kind of craziness, like some kind of sick craziness lying underneath the whole human situation.
I mean, for sure, I don't know what the human situation is because Kay is probably not a human.
No.
And speaking of which, like symbol or like the little thing when she says "you're a real boy," which is obviously the Pinocchio reference, and
Right.
then he's not a real boy anyway, so he gets shocked because he thinks he is a real boy, and then he's not, and then he gets shocked again. And but there is definitely many layers also with the thing like the blind creator, who wants to retake Eden. That's what he said just before he stabbed the replicant in her underbelly in the beginning. I wrote it down because it was so strong.
All right.
So he wants to retake Eden, and I find that quite interesting in this thing that whatever human emotion or whatever is there, it's definitely depressed. Everything is very depressed, and it seems like the only way to have anything a little bit worthwhile is to imagine it or plug it in, so to speak. So you plug everything joyous in, and it's kind of a computer program in one way or another.
Exactly.
And that's, I mean, with the work we've done, it's very schizoid, yeah?
Mm.
So it's like you cannot be in the world you're in. You cannot face the reality as it is. So the only way to cope with reality is to space out and actually not be there and plug into some computer program. And when that evil love replicant kind of hammers his little USB stick or whatever it is with his fake girlfriend on it, she stamps his illusions of having some kind of imitation of a normal life.
Right. I was thinking really the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And in that sense, of course, it's massively dystopian.
Yeah, because he meets her as a commercial just after.
Yes.
And which is very strong.
She's everywhere. Yeah. So it's like,
I'm here for you.
Yeah, and also the strength of the image that he has some kind of implanted memory, which all of a sudden turns out to be a real memory, which is shocking already. It's like, oh, I'm not a Pinocchio, I'm a real boy. Oh, then, okay, shit, I am a Pinocchio because someone lived this, as we find out. And
exactly, and also like his artificial girlfriend
yeah,
is actually a learning intelligence.
yes,
She kind of learns how he is
yeah,
and supports him
and
in
responds
response
to him and to his
in-
needs and everything.
exactly.
Yeah.
She responds to his needs and,
Yeah.
and in a very loving and caring way, and she
Mhm.
really wants to be there for him.
Yes, that's the closest resemblance there is to humanness, no?
It's very close.
Yeah.
Maybe it actually is more human than humans.
Well, it's definitely more human than the disconnected humans, yeah?
Yeah.
Somehow. And that's also I find, part of the dystopia. Like when he meets that hooker and she says, oh, you don't like real girls. And it's like, no, he can only stand something that is so disconnected. He can only live spaced out,
Yeah.
not in his body.
And then there's all the things we don't hear anything about. There's just lying kind of like a layer underneath everything, like Valas, who kind of owns the planet now, who kind of took over from Tyrell Corporation,
Yeah.
and now lives in space.
Yeah. Oh, he lives in space?
Yeah,
I
where,
didn't get
where
that.
you can get everything.
Ah, okay, yeah.
You can get
Wallace?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
you can get. That's where they try to go.
Yeah.
Love and Deckard.
Yeah, out of Earth or whatever, out
Yeah.
of planet, yeah.
Where everything is possible,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yeah, but that's just another illusion, isn't it?
We really don't know.
No, we don't know.
What is Wallace? Look at his eyes.
Yeah, he's blind. Or whatever.
Whatever, yeah. Yeah. We don't know.
Niander Wallace.
Yeah, the pictures. I mean, I agree with you so much in the sense of all the symbolic, but in itself, it's so beautiful.
Yes, crazy beautiful. And also the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
I mean,
yeah,
blown away.
I didn't
I
think
feel
about
blown
that
away.
at all during the movie, actually.
No, but it was just
Yeah.
accommodating so well.
But yeah,
Like some other thing, like some symbolism, like the knives. There were knives
Right.
everywhere in the beginning, in the
Yeah.
end. You know, this whole thing, and I was thinking, what does that mean? This kind of cutting things open is a very kind of crude way of dying, isn't it? I mean, a pistol is faster. There's
Right.
something very fleshy about a knife.
fleshy.
Like, no, there's blood and there is like the time element of it, you know, where the gun is instant, but there is something more cruel about a knife somehow. And then there was this element with water,
Right.
like the constant rain, and then at the end where they're kind of
Flooded.
captured by the sea or like the raw natural element. That's the closest as we get to nature. Nature is taking over this. They can't. The replicants can't control the situation
No.
because they have been flooded by the sea or this strong water element.
Which also is a symbol on consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I felt it was almost like relaxing, that it took it over, that it kind of, you know. But I don't know. And then snow in the end, no?
Yeah.
Like the pristine, the cleaning up, everything, and also the disappearing, no?
Yeah.
He disappears somehow, I think, at the end, or we don't know that.
We
but
don't
he
know
kind
that
of lingers
totally,
in
but
the
I
air.
think
yeah.
he kind of disappears,
Yeah.
and Deckard meets his daughter, and which is scary because she is the key to the
Kingdom.
kingdom.
Yet at the same time, it also seems a little bit like somehow, yes, even the replicants seem more close to life, or it's easier to
Yeah.
relate to them, but we
Yeah,
also
exactly.
don't know what humans are.
No.
I mean, the closest thing I was thinking also the symbol of the dog with Deckard. It's like, okay, this is a little more piece of nature. So it's like the lone wolf, and there are the bees. There are these little elements that are kind of showing nature, but to be honest, I'm not sure what humanness there was in that one.
Deckard is human. that we find out. I was kind of in doubt after Blade Runner.
Yeah, I thought
One.
he was.
Yeah, but he's not. He's human. He get old, and he lives in this place, as in he gives his dog whiskey and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah. But also he kind of lives alone. He's totally isolated,
Yeah.
and he's been living totally isolated. And his big love is a replicant.
Replicant, yes. So there is not really, every human in there is very disconnected, no?
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't really say a lot about humans. What it says is something that wants something else, be it a replicant or whatever.
Yeah. In that sense, it's true. It's like humans in this dystopian fantasy is kind of lost. There's nowhere to go. And the openings come from the replicants.
Except outside Earth, which is also leaving your body, no?
Yeah.
That's the only way of coping. Somehow.
Yeah. And then in the way it was filmed, it was very, very slow.
But so captivating at the same time.
Yeah. Mostly because of the pictures, who had so many details and was so dreamy.
Yeah, everything, but also the storyline. It was not, I didn't get bored
No.
at all.
Yeah. So, should we?
You do.
I mean, I'd been a little bit in doubt, but I think actually this is a 6.
We don't have 6.
We have 6.
No, we have 5.
We have 6.
No, we have 5.
Then we should invent 6.
No, I like Thor just as much as this.
Okay. I don't think you can compare those two movies.
No, but that's what we're doing. If we rate them.
Okay. Then it is a 5.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to give it 6 even if we didn't have it. Actually.
We have had 6.
Whatever, we give it max. But then I also want to give Thor max.
Okay. Because we gave Cloud Atlas 6.
We never saw Cloud Atlas. We never rated it here.
We did.
No, that was before the whole thing started.
No.
Yeah, we don't have it then.
I'm a replicant. I have kind of implanted memories.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway.
That's why I'm so
No,
smart.
I mean, it's rare to see a movie that is so deep. But that's also because we usually choose really bad movies that are very shallow. But
yeah, true.
I wouldn't give it extra because dystopia is normal.
What?
Yeah. I think this whole world that we live in is so dystopian at the moment, and it's like that's the norm. It's not scary anymore to all the movies at the moment are about the end of the world 2, the Civil War, Geostorm, everything is about the demise of man. So I wouldn't give it extra for that because I don't think it's a brilliant movie, but at the same time it's also a little bit, yes, we know it's not going very well. Let's move towards something else. That's what
I think it's going very well.
I think so.
Yes. I do think so.
I think dystopia is, it's somehow something that was it's something to be infatuated with. Like, oh, I'm, look at me, I'm trashing down, and it's, I don't find it beautiful. It's norm. It's mainstream. Dystopia is mainstream to me. I think we should do better.
Dystopia is dystopia. It's not very positive.
I know.
Okay.
I realize that, but I wouldn't give it extra for the dystopian element because I think everything is dystopian at the moment.
No, but this is just such a coherent dystopian vision.
Yes, that's true.
That's, yeah.
But I'm not. I won't. I'm not gonna. What's it called? Give extra praise for. Whoa, you made a dystopia. That's so rare.
What?
Everything's fucking dystopian at the moment.
Okay, well, I will not go there. That's right, but I think it should have everything you can give it. And I think this is a movie I will see more.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would probably see it again too. Also to understand it a bit, or to kind of read some of all the layers that I didn't get
Yeah.
when watching it for the first time.
It was so different from the first Blade Runner.
Yeah.
And in some way I was a little disappointed because the first one was so it was so truly kind of story. It was such a story that evolved, and there was kind of people we could like, and there was explorations and misunderstandings and surprises and many people, many humans, like everywhere, which we kind of could relate to.
I don't remember it like that.
Nah, okay. Anyway, this was just kind of lonely.
Yeah, very, very lonely.
Very lonely.
Everything was lonely.
Yeah.
And there was this, and that's also interesting, there is this longing for a presence.
Right.
It's like the replicant boy is sentimentally longing for a life with his computer programmed girlfriend. So there's this longing of connecting to life, but it's through and through it's disconnected.
It is totally disconnected, yeah.
Then it's a memory, then it's, that was the role, he scrambled the program, Deckard, he gets her pregnant and she gives birth and then he has to go away because that's part of it. So there's no life in there.
No.
No life at all. So the closest
No
thing
life.
to life is actually that they gave birth to someone who lives in a glass bubble because she has some immune deficiency. And the closest thing to life is the replicants wanting to pull away and have their own.
Also, there was no kind of ordinary human life in the movie at all.
No.
We didn't see, we only saw a very few children that was kind of in an extreme crazy place.
Yes, and they were all replicant children.
They were all replicant children, yeah. And we didn't see anybody eat.
No.
No street food.
No.
Nothing.
Not like last time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like no toilets, very few drinks. It was like it was like I have million bottles of whiskey.
Mm.
There was just loneliness and kind of
Disconnect.
all disconnection and
Yeah.
all those things
Yeah.
which you could actually not use to anything
And
because
everything.
what you want was connection,
Yes, exactly.
and that is not there.
The whole longing is about life.
Yeah.
And the tree is dead.
Yeah.
There is no thing, oh, you have a wooden horse, wow, it's real tree, or it's real wood,
Yeah.
you're rich, This thing
Yeah.
that life is such a precious commodity and nature is such a precious commodity that it becomes very expensive. And that's what I mean with the whole thing, that I'm not going to give it extra stars because it's a dystopia. Because I think the real, of course, I understand it's just a reflection of myself and blah, 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 but there's something with, it's a beautiful story of a whole earth nation longing for real life. But I think the big question, and of course that has nothing to do with the movie, but to me the big question is, create this life.
But that is kind of the thing we have to take with this.
Yeah, that's the next level.
But that's also why this is kind of, this is a dystopian future.
Or present.
You can say that. I don't agree with you, but I think it's a very possible dystopian future if things continue in the way they kind of that's kind of prepared for us.
Yes.
And so in that sense, this is a very important movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And we will see this in the next, in our lifetime, we will see so much human interacting with robots.
For sure.
We will have, in 10 years, we will have sex robots, we will have people who never go
I think
outside
we
their
have that
flats.
already.
We will
We
not.
have that more or less, I think. That's what it's kind of, it's an extrapolation of the present state. It's not that far away.
It's not that far away. I agree.
No. And that's why I, it kind of gets my inner warrior kind of like, but then let's do what it takes, let's rise to the next level and snap the fuck out of the dystopia and create real life and presence, because it's that close at the same time.
But maybe there's something here we cannot control. Like there have been some kind of war. We haven't heard about it.
Yes, in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there has been some kind of disaster we haven't heard about also.
Yeah, the blackout.
The blackout.
Yeah, and some dirty bomb or whatever.
Whatever. We don't hear about. We don't know what it really is.
Mm.
Just that nothing from there is kind of left. Everything in that period is not.
Yes.
So, yeah, anyway, I think we should,
Call it a day.
I think so.
Yeah.
With these words. But with a hope of connection, that this actually shows what does it show? I don't know.
I think I'm going to be a little bit rough here, but I think hoping that's not going to do us any good. Hoping is the same as plugging in some kind of computer program and wishing things were different and spacing out. I think the only way of doing it is to walk the fucking talk.
Right.
And if anything, I don't think it leaves us with hope for mankind, because everything points towards that we need to act.
But that means we actually have to connect with other people. And do you have any idea how kind of boring that could be?
That's also very, very rewarding sometimes, if it's real.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not like everything is all peachy and dandy or anything. It's not what I'm saying. But I'm just showing how bad it can be is not necessarily generating a new sense of hope. Sometimes you also have to show the way there. That's what I mean. But it has really nothing to do with this movie.
No, true. But this will be so incredible, interesting to see what actually will happen when kind of machines kind of interact with us in a totally different way.
But I think they are doing that already.
But this will be. I don't think you cannot. We cannot really understand the cultural mechanisms when it actually becomes part of our DNA, that we are all kind of cyborgs in some way, and we all kind of live in a digital universe, and things can change from one second to the next with a push on the button. We don't. We it like. I mean, I grew up with a fucking typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
And a thing with a wheel when you should drive, when you should duplicate something.
Hey, no, I think I understand what you're saying, I think, but at the same time I also think, like, we can extrapolate this forever and be like, oh, then this is going to happen, then all of a sudden we're going to be in Japan, and we don't know how that is like, and we don't know how that is like if we have fake eyes and stuff like that. But I think the long and short of it is that this whole thing is pointing towards a longing for presence. And
right.
and being in the moment, and being close to a tree, and being connected with the dog, like all these repetitions, like this, what is interlinked when you hold your love in your hand. It's this dream of the interlinked, but the answer is just to interlink. It's the fucking answer. It's this fucking simple. So it's like, yes, we can extrapolate on, oh, it can be this bad, or it can be that bad, it can be, ooh, that could be a very bad replicant, you know? But the long and short of it is it's right here. It's right here. And I think that's the difficult path to walk. It's not difficult to walk into dystopia. The difficult path is to claim a little bit of life every moment, all the time.
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah. Over and out.